So what's this one?
Being a minority.
A minority? Who's a minority?
Me.
You. What's it about you? Let's talk about like reptiles and Star Wars and stuff. My interests and hobbies are actually interesting. Hi guys, my name's Larry.
And I'm Mada.
And welcome to our channel.
So today I wanted to share my experience, or rather our experience, of what it's like living in rural Ireland, and for myself being a minority.
And myself being a father of mixed race babies and husband to an African sister.
Yeah. So we do live in a small town.
A very small town.
Yeah.
I'd say the population can't be any more than what, 500?
Don't think so.
I wouldn't know so.
But then there's a housing estate. There's a really big housing estate out there.
Okay, between 500 and 700 people live in this town.
Yeah.
Max. It's like, there's not much going on. It's the in-between town, and apparently it used to be very kind of like hustle and bustle, very popular little town, because it used to be a town between two big cities, so Kilkenny City and Cork City. People would have to travel through this town to get to either, but then they introduced motorways and they bypassed the whole thing. Businesses closed, people moved away, and not much development happened. From what I understand, I could be completely wrong, but it's a very quiet town, very small town, but it's brilliant, to be fair. Everyone's lovely. Everything, all you need is here, and you're only 15 minutes away from like a grocery store or supermarket, whatever you call it. Half an hour from work.
Can I just stop you there? You're only saying that because you drive. Okay. I'm not currently driving, so for me it's a completely different story. It's a lot harder, and the only shop that I do have the option of getting anything is Centra. Not even 5 minutes down the road, it's like 2 minutes down the road. But if you're not driving, the 15-20 minutes to get to the nearest shop is not. So yeah, 15-20 minutes for the rest of us.
It's good in a sense because it like encourages you to do one big shop a week rather than keep going.
With that being said, it encourages you to do one big shop in a week or whatever. Not a month, we've never lasted a month. But you end up spending a lot more. What I do, I go Centra nearly every single day because I forget to buy stuff in the big shop. And the problem with the smaller shop is they're a lot more expensive than the bigger shops. So you do, in the long run, end up spending a lot more.
Yeah, and when we do visit our little local shop, it means we get to interact with our neighbours, locals, people of the town, and being one of what, maybe 4 or 5 African or black people in the town. Yeah, you're definitely in the minority. There's a few other kind of races or nationalities here as well. There's a lot actually for a small town. Compared to my hometown in North Kilkenny, it's far more diverse here. But that being said, yes, it's fine. I think
it's fine. Like I've never actually had any like bad experiences. I don't think. I've made a friend of like recently. She would be an Eastern European woman, and she's so friendly. And it's learning from her experiences and what it's like from her. You kind of start seeing that diversity, the word diversity, or even from work. It's not just narrowed down to like skin color, which would be the obvious thing when you see people, but it's when you get talking to people. I would imagine her experiences are a lot like mine because her English is not very good, or she's, you know, she's come from a different country altogether, and then she's had to like restart her life here. So it would be from like similar walks of life, and like when you bring us into a town like this, it's like, yeah, it's diversity. And
that being said, I think the locals, or the Irish people in general, are very kind of open and hospitable. Like it's very, if anything, because you're different or you stand out, or the boys because they're mixed race, like they seem to stand out. Not that there's anything different, but they're more striking. And the compliments and the attention you get is crazy. Like every day you go out and someone says something or comes up.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, maybe because they do kind of stand out, like people are more inclined to like say something. It's always been positive, but I think for myself, like my experience, my only bad experience, and I think it was all in my head, or I could be wrong, I don't know, maybe it did happen, but I've had like 1 or 2 times where I've gone into the shops without the kids now, just for myself, and you get like the odd look that's kind of like, the person's not smiling, they're just not happy, but with everyone else around them, they're like really happy. And then I think that, yeah, it's definitely happened where like my first initial thought would be, oh, it's because of the color of my skin. But the person never actually said anything, do you know what I mean? But then you're kind of thinking like, why is this person like acting different towards me? I'll never know whether it was racial or not, but you do get the odd time, for me, that you kind of feel if a person makes you feel a certain type of way or getting certain looks, or they tap each other and it's you that they're kind of looking at, you definitely do feel, you know, has it got to do with the colour of my skin?
Maybe they're just confused. Every time I see you, you've got different hair. I think it's a different woman every time.
Yeah, with that being said as well, there's times that people are generally having a bad day. And example, the woman that I'm referring to on this particular day, she might have just been having a bad day full stop, and I was like the first person that she saw after having a bad interaction with someone. So I was just placing it on, you know? So, no, generally, like, as you rightly said, like, people are very friendly, they're very, very helpful. One thing that I do like about living in the country, because I'm a city girl, I've lived in cities all my life, so living in the country, it's all brand new to me, I'm still getting used to it. But I do like how everyone says hi to each other.
Yeah.
Everyone's always out to greet you. Even if you don't want to say hi to someone, you can be in a bad mood and just like, and looking at the ground or whatever, just want to mind your own business. But the minute you cross paths with someone, that's it, they just want to say hi, and it's like, oh, you have to give a smile and be like, hi back.
Yeah,
and it lifts your mood.
Yeah, it's nice. It's very friendly.
Yeah.
And you get familiar with people as well, and you can, like the lady that works here in our town in the shop that you're friends with now, so you familiarise yourself with people, and yeah, I suppose it's how you make friends. Because it's new for me as well to be living in a different town. From the real country where there's no street lights or road markings, and the locals are like livestock, cows and sheep. But living here in a small rural town, it's a weird word to say. Rural. Yeah, it's nice. The people are friendly, and we've had nothing but good experience as a mixed race, or as you like to call it, minority family. So yeah, favours upon us anyway.
I'm trying to think, have I actually never had a bad experience in this town?
In this town? I think it's less likely to happen in a small town like this to have bad experience, because people seem to like, there's more of a sense of community, whereas if you're in a Dublin city now, like the person you meet that's driving the bus, the person you meet that's working in the shop, you never see them again. Their shift and your time you visit, and they never match up again. There's no kind of community sense. Well, there is a little bit, but not as much as there would be in a smaller town. So
I think maybe that's why people are even friendlier in the country, because you actually genuinely have time for people. It's a lot more laid back. Everyone's kind of like, it's a lot slower. People are not really rushing, and it's nice. It's a fresh air.
It's nice. It's good for the boys as well. I mean, they obviously don't understand much at the moment, being babies or toddlers, but they don't know any different. They mingle and mix, and it's nice. It's nice that they can. There's no differences there, or there's no kind of like
divides.
Yeah.
I think one thing that I was fearful of when we were moving like here was for the boys. Definitely, I know, like, you know, they've spent most of their lives here, but you do kind of, I don't know if it's just natural to think that way, but for me, it's like, what will things be like for them? You know, I know Ireland has changed from, say, years ago, from one of our friends that he lives in Waterford, he's mixed race, and he said growing up for him was absolutely horrible. And it was only up until recently, when the Black Lives Matter movement started and everything, when he kind of realised that, oh, that was actually racism and like really bad stuff that was happening to him growing up. And I know times have changed and stuff, but when you talk about school and growing up, it's completely different. So that's one thing that I am kind of, I know it'll be fine, definitely. There'll be other like mixed race or Chinese.
Yeah, I think times have changed from when we were at school as well. Like,
yeah, there's a lot more diversity from every aspect.
More inclusion and stuff, so yes. I'm sure there'll be challenges there. I mean, we all face challenges in our own kind of ways, even me at school.
Yeah.
Stuff that's got nothing to do with what you are or who you are, but just challenges
Just
at school.
kids in general. Yeah. It's true,
Everyone is.
kids kind of pick on each other for anything really, isn't it? So
Yeah, so no, I'm sure they'll have their little moments or challenges as they grow, as any child does, but I don't think there's going to be anything to really worry about in that sense. But no, it's good that they've got backgrounds and they'll be in touch with both their cultures and that, so they will raise them knowing both.
Knowing both, yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully,
yeah,
they'll be aware of what's going on and they can understand things better. But yeah.
And being bilingual as well, I hope that they just pick up Chichewa like that and speak it fluently from pretty much now. Christian knows bull. He knows like a few Chichewa words. There's times that he does say them. So I hope he carries on so he knows 2 languages.
Yeah, he should do. And they both pick up things very quick. I think we've been blessed with 2 very intelligent little guys. So yeah, watch this space.
Thank you very much for watching our video, and make sure you like and my throat hurts. Thank you for watching our video, and we hope you liked it. That was just our experience of what it's like living in rural Ireland, and I would love to hear other people's experiences as well, living somewhere different. It doesn't have to be the countryside. Is it a new city that you live in? What's it like for you guys?
Yeah, thanks again. We'll see you in the next video. And always remember to like and subscribe.
You had to go there.
Every time I'm going to do it.